So it says, today I will judge nothing that occurs. And then it says, I will be honest with myself today. That's a big one. We think we're being honest when we see how bad everybody else is and how bad we are, right? What this says is, today I will be honest with myself. Why? I will not think I already know what must remain beyond my present grasp. I already know how today is going to be. I already know what I'm going to do. I already know how they're going to react. I already know when I open the door what's going to happen. I already know when I go to work this is going to happen. I already know all these things because I've kind of set these into motion. It says, I'm not going to do that today. I'm not going to think I already know what remains beyond my present grasp. I will not think I understand the whole from bits of my perception, which are all I can see. I was always interested that astronauts who go into outer space and then look back at the Earth always have a much broader perspective when they come home. Many of them have kind of like out-of-body experiences without ever having that experience of a death experience. They have these out-of-body experiences where they really do come back transformed. Edgar Mitchell was one of them who became a course student after he came back from his experience of outer space, looking back at that planet that we inhabit together and how small it is and how limitless it is. There are no borders like on a map that are drawn so we see how separate we are. We're all part of this, and what is done in one part of the planet affects the entire part of the planet. Well, that's the same thing with our thinking. So these people come back with this really broad perspective of how can you understand anything by just looking at bits and pieces of stuff. And the same thing is true for us. I think I said this last week. I read this somewhere where it says, we judge ourselves by our intention and we judge others by their behavior. Think about that. We know what's going on inside of us. And sometimes we say something and we go, well, that's not really what I meant. What I really meant was this. And we know what's inside our heart, what we really mean. But somebody else looks at us and kind of crinkles their nose and we go, well, to you, I'm not going to pay any more attention to you. You're not even trying to take it because we judge them by how they respond to us, their behavior. We know we're trying, but what's wrong with them? So I think that's really important for us to understand. That's exactly what this is talking about. Can we step back from these immediate snap judgments that come up inside of us? Because they are so automatic and we've become accustomed to them being so automatic. So as the Course says, this is a mind training. It's a relearning. It's an unlearning and a relearning of the truth. That's what this lesson is about when it comes to judgments. Now let's look at this sheet on the backside. Let's put up the second slide here, Bill, if you can. It says, do not, because I think it's hard. We start looking we don't make these snap judgments, but we make these snap judgments. Well, look at what it says in the text in chapter 14. It says, do not be concerned about how you can learn a lesson so completely different from everything you have taught yourself. I love how the Course says this all the time. I know you think you're so screwed up that you don't think there's any way you can let go of your judgments, but believe me, it can work. How would you know? It says, your part is very simple. You need only recognize that everything you've learned you do not want. And that's always kind of like, what? What do you mean? Everything I've learned I do not want. What? What does that mean? You mean they're going to tell me I don't want this? But it says we've got to take a little time to move back from this and ask to be taught, as it says in the next one. Ask to be taught. And do not use your experience to confirm what you have learned. When your peace is threatened or disturbed in any way, say to yourself, I do not know what anything is for, including this. I do not know what anything including this means, and so I do not know how to respond to it. And I will not use my own past learning as the light to guide me now. I want to lift my perception. If anything, this is a great little prayer to memorize, to put on your refrigerator, put it somewhere, because it's a good thought to just hold in there, especially when you're going through a fray. Something's happening, some angry thoughts coming in. You don't know how to deal with something. Maybe you're going through a financial thing. Maybe you're going through an emotional thing with family. Maybe you're going through a physical challenge. And so to stop yourself and say, I do not know what anything, including this means, and I do not know how to respond to it, and I'm not going to use my own past learning as the light to guide me now, because I will judge nothing that occurs today. I cannot grasp the whole from only bits and pieces of something. And when it says here, which is kind of interesting, it says, Asked to be taught, it says, and do not use your experience to confirm what you have learned. Have you ever noticed that sometimes when people are arguing, they're really not arguing? That's just kind of how they talk. You ever heard that with people? They're not even upset about something. You look at it and you go, oh, that's upset. And you're going, no, that's not upset. That's Italian. Yeah, that's what I said. So you just that was actually my family. We were the loud family. We would just talk loud. My dad talked loud. We all talk loud. And that was nothing. Paul got into the family. It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. High level stuff going on here, and it's like that. This is what we do, And now he's just as high level as me. So you should see it when Jeffrey and I get going. Wow, we had a great time. And Paul's going, whoa, whoa. No, I don't. But we have a fun time. It's all in fun, but we don't know. So you can't look and make a judgment, and that's kind of what this is saying. Based on what you see, you can't see. You can only know. Sometimes people end up needing to part for a while. And you might say, isn't that sad? They're not together. Well, it may be that that's the best thing for them to do their own healing process in the experience of that. It doesn't mean that bodies being together means they're together. Just like bodies apart don't mean they're separated. It's the intent in our hearts, the intent in our minds, the intent in our souls that really matter.